Welcome to Web Design. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working on Assignment 414, setting up your portfolio assignment. Okay, so you could come to page 2, and here you're supposed to open up your index code. So I open up my index code, and I'm going to paste this into a new HTML document. So I'm going to select everything. You can do a Control-A, or you can drag through everything. Right-click, copy. Then click your Microsoft button. Go to All Programs. Go to Accessories. And find your notepad. Not your word pad, your notepad. Right-click, Paste. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go File, Save As. And you're going to save it. Let me go to my desktop here. I'm going to navigate on my desktop to my web design folder for this class. Open it up. And I'm going to go to Portfolio. See this? Now, where this is going, it's going right in here, right inside the portfolio, not in Unit 4, right inside the portfolio, right? And you're going to call this index.html. But before I do that, I'm going to save it as a regular text file. Because if I open it up as HTML, it's going to open up in Microsoft Expressions, which is the program I use. So I'm just going to leave it, save it two ways. One is a TXT file, and the other is an index.html. So first I'm going to do index. I'm just going to save. Next I'm going to go File, Save As, index.html. The reason I'm doing it two ways, once again, is so I can edit. It's easier for me to HTML. It's easier for me to edit this way, okay? It's just easier for me. But you can do it whatever way works well for you, but this is how I'm doing it, okay? So I'm going to minimize that. I've saved this to my web design folder, portfolio. See, that's what it tells you to do. Save the file as index.html in your portfolio folder. That's what we do. So we go to page 3 and we download the assignment. So let me pull up the assignment. So what you're going to do is, after following the instructions, which we just did, next we're going to save a photo of ourselves in the images folder. So I'm going to go navigate. I'm going to go in my folders, and I'm going to go to pictures, where I've got a picture of myself saved. Now what they want is a JPEG, but let's say I took a webcam shot and saved it as a ping. I want to save a ping as a JPEG. So how do I do this? I right-click on my ping. Now look at the dimensions. It says it's 208 by 124. It tells you it can't be any bigger than 400. So I'm going to show you how to fix both of those. If it's too big and if it's a ping. So I'm going to right-click my picture. And I'm going to click Open With, and I'm going to pick Microsoft Paint. Okay, it's in Paint now. So if I say I need to resize it, I click Resize, and then I click Pixels, and I take it down to 400 or lower, okay, whichever size I want. So that's what I do. If I change the horizontal, the vertical will automatically change. I don't have to worry. As long as I got this check mark in, maintain aspect ratio. That will change that. So how do I save this as a JPEG? I just click this down and I go Save As. Then there's my JPEG right there. And so now I've got this one. Copy this one. I'm going to navigate to my desktop, to my web design folder, to my portfolio. into images. Okay, so I'm going to right click here and I'm going to paste. So now I need to rename this as myself. So I click once and just type in myself. That's what it told me to do, right? Okay, so let me go back into the instructions. What next? So I saved this picture of myself in my portfolio images folder. So see, it's in my portfolio and now I'm in my images folder. Make the photo no larger than 400 pixels wide. And I show you how you can go and you can change that to be smaller. Okay. So now it says locate the CSS code that refers to the page background color and change it to a color of your choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to Google HTML color codes, or you can go into your color codes document that you saved from Unit 3. That is some in there. Now, one of my favorite places to go is Computer Hope. So I'm going to go there. The Computer Hope has all kinds of colors that I like. Another thing is that I can choose it this way, or I can go into the color picker. So now what I want to do is I want to find a color that I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm kind of gonna, let me see. Kind of looks gold, doesn't it? I'm gonna choose that color. So I'm gonna copy this. Right click copy. I'm going to go into my code and I'm going to find background color. So I'm going to make my background color gold. So I'm going to take out that code there and I'm going to paste it. I can right click paste, or I can do a control V. Here we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find something that I think looks good with that. It's kind of a mustard yellow, a goldy color. And I'm going to choose some kind of blue. All right. Let me see this one. Right click, copy. I'm going to do my table background. I'm going to backspace over it, and I'm going to paste it in there. I'm going to save it. Make sure I save it as TXT. Now I'm going to see what it looks like. So I'm going to go back into my folder. I'm going to back up here, and I'm going to double click on index.html. Now, if you've replaced your, see what I did was before I pasted this and called it index.html, I changed my web titles index.html. I called it web title so I wouldn't lose it. Okay. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to check the colors. Yeah, I like the blue on gold. Maybe I would have put the gold as the table color and the blue as the background, but that's okay. That works. I'll come back out. Okay, what's the next thing it tells me to do? So I wanted to go into the Cool Text Graphics Generator website and create a title using a color scheme that works well with your background and table background colors and make it size 70. Okay. So then I'm going to pull up, there we go. We're going to use Cool Text. I'm going to find something that's going to go with blue on gold. So I'm going to look. Maybe that'll look nice. Let me try this one. But that's a little too fancy for my taste. That might be interesting. Rage. Princess. Whoa, I don't know about that one. Legal. Okay, I'll pull that one up. So, let me see. Let me try something here. Yeah, I think I'd like that. So I got that color going with the white background, with the white highlight. So I'm gonna come on down, and I'm going to save this as a GIF with transparency, no dither. So now, one of two ways I can do this. I can click Create Logo. I can click Download the image, or I can right-click here and click Save Image As. I'm going to do that because it's going to save me a step. So what am I supposed to save this as? Let me poke up my code here. And what do I want my table as? So I'm looking at the this right here, right inside my body. I'm coming down. Okay, here's where my image source portfolio text.gif. So this is the name of it. So I'm going to call this one portfolio GIF. Now you can name it whatever, and you can change it here eventually, or you can change it back into the code. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste this here. That's what I'm going to name it, just as it is in the code, so I don't have to change anything. So it says legal though. Is that what I want? No, I don't want that to be called legal. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to. Am I going to name this as legal, or am I going to name this as my portfolio? Just like that. So I can right-click Copy, Save Image As, and then I can put it there. I'm going to change that legal to my portfolio. There we go. So what's the second thing I need to do? It says, what you're supposed to do is go in the HTML code that refers to the title and edit with your file name. So, okay, that's what you do. You go and save it as whatever, and then you go back into here, and then just rename it whatever you called it. I did it the other way around. Who knows? It's going to come up with the same difference. So now I'm going to go into the Cool Text graphics generator site, and I'm going to name the next one Invitation. Copy. Right-click Copy. Then I'm going to go back into this, and I'm going to replace this with that name, Invitation. I want to erase that A though. Don't need that. Does it need to be a 70? Probably 50 is better. I don't want the regular titles as big as there we go. That's good. I don't want the regular titles as big as the title. So I'm going to right click this one. I'm going to save image as. I'm going to call this one. This is Invitation. I can call it Invitation with a little I. Okay, what's the next one? The next one is Webmaster. Highlight, copy. Replace this. Control V. Okay, I'm going to paste it in there, a backspace over it. I'm going to right click the name here, save image as. Now I'm going to call this Webmaster with a little w. Click save. Okay, what's the next one? Colors. Right click copy. Come back here. Right click paste. Backspace over that C there. So I'm going to name this one colors. So right click copy. Save image as. So I can call this one colors with a little c. And this last one is famous. I'm going to copy that. Come back here. Right click copy. Right click paste rather. Backspace over that. Okay, now take this right here, save image as. So I call this famous with a little f. I'm going to go click save. Okay, so I did that. Save the images in your portfolio's image folder with the file name of your choice, which I did. Okay, now it says locate the HTML code that refers to the titles and edit with your file names. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to pull up my images folder here, and I'm going to open up my text here. Okay, so portfolio title here is the name of this, the title of the picture title. Do I have that? Yeah, I have called it portfolio title. Now, if I had called it something else, I go to this first one that says image source equals images / portfolio title.gif. So whatever I called it here is what I'm going to call it here. So the second one is my invitation assignment. So it's here in image source. We're looking at the picture of the title now, right? It's equals images.invitation.gif. And actually, that's exactly what I called it. But if you called it something different, just change this to match up with whatever you called it up here, okay? So let's look at the next one. Imagesmyself.jpeg. And I told you to change it as myself, but if you didn't change it as myself, you put whatever you put your picture here as on this next one down. So the next one is your CSS assignment, where you made your webmaster essay into a web page. Okay. So and you called it CSS assignment.html. Okay. So what about the title of that? Here they call it webmaster. So I called mine webmaster, so I don't have to change anything here. But if you called your title something different, make sure this up here matches what's in here under image source equals images webmaster. Okay, just change this to whatever. Okay, and the last one, the colors one. Okay, so I put little colors there that matches with the little colors GIF here. Now, what if you downloaded one of those fancy titles and they were all pings? Well, all you do is you save it here and you change the names here in the code, okay? And the last one is famous GIF. So there's your famous GIF. I imagine somewhere in the future we're going to have a web page called famous, okay? But right now, that's the source of it. Okay, so we did according to the assignment. What's the next thing? Save the file and open the web page. All right. So I go File, Save. Now, once again, since it's a TXT file, I got to save it as HTML. save as index.html. And I click save. All right then, so let's open this up. I'm going to go back up to my portfolio and I'm going to double click on index.html. So this is what my assignment looks like. Okay. Make sure the links to your web pages work. Okay, well, let's do that. Does this one work? Yep, takes me to that baby picture. Does this one work? Yes, takes me to the webmaster essay. Does this one work? Yep, takes me to the colors assignment. And this one doesn't link to anything yet, right? So what do you do if it doesn't work? Well, I'll show you what you do. Here's your portfolio, okay? And here's your code. Let me go back to index text. Right. So here you go. Now every place where you see href, hypertext reference, that's referring to this where the web page is located, not the image, but the actual web page. So this says that the invitation is located in the Unit 3 folder. So I open up Unit 3 folder. It tells me that inside the invitation folder is a file called index.html. There's my invitation folder, and there's my index.html. Now, what if you didn't call it index? What if you called it birthday? What if you called it invite 3? Well, all you have to do, you come back here to where it says index.html, you change it to birthday, or you change it to invite3.html. What if you didn't have it in the invitation folder? Well, all you have to do is backspace over it. Okay. Well, what if you had this invitation folder capitalized? Well, you could either make it capitalized here, or you could come back in your Unit 3 folder and make it a small I. Okay, so those are some things you might run across. What if you didn't have it in your Unit 3 folder and you had it directly in the portfolio? Well, you could backspace over the Unit 3. All right. Or you can make a portfolio a Unit 3 folder for it and put it in there. See, spelling makes a difference. Capitalization makes a difference when it comes to file names, folder names, okay? Just be consistent. All right, what if it's your CSS assignment? Well, it says your CSS assignment is in Unit 3. So we're Unit 3 and we see CSS assignment. What if you just called it assignment? Well, you know what? You just match what you have here with what you have here. You either change this and take away the CSS, or what you do is you change this and make this CSS. Okay, got it? Okay, now we're going to go into the colors. All right, let's say that your colors is the one that's hanging up. Did you put it under Unit 4? Did you put it under little c or capital C? See, I changed mine because it wasn't working. So you can, if yours is capital C and you need to change it to a little c, go ahead. And here it's called index.html. What if you called yours something else? Well, you can either change it here, or, yeah, I know that you got 15 files all called index.html. You know, that's okay if you got it changed. Just change it here. It doesn't matter what you call it, as long as what it's named here, you know, in your href section is the same as what you've got in your folder. All right. And the images should work. You shouldn't have anything there. So that's what you need to do. Okay. So once you've fixed all those, it should fix, and you should come up with a working thing. Now the last thing you need to do is you need to zip this and send it to me. See? It says zip your entire folder and submit. It doesn't say send me your index folder. You could send me the index folder and have done nothing. Okay? I want to see your entire portfolio. I can't give you any points if you just send me your index file. Come on. So you submit your portfolio zip. So let's go in here. I've already got a portfolio zip, don't I? I've got 2 of them, in fact. Either I delete these or I I can always go do it again. I go portfolio, send to, and compress it folder. And see, now that gives me a portfolio with a 2 next to it. So this is the one that I should be sending, right? That's what I should be putting into my folder. All right, I hope that helps you. Put this in the 414 Dropbox. And you have a great day. See you in class. Bye.